Hello and welcome back to the Level 1 News. Today is July 2nd, and today we're doing the classic combo of robot and nonsense for the end of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the last appearance of Amber.
Oh,
very last.
She's betrayed us. And as of
She's
tomorrow,
dead to us.
I've shared company secrets. Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I have not.
So if you see her, hiss and just like shy away from it.
But we've got a replacement lined up, so we're good.
And let's talk about some robots. The only kind of robot mostly in the news these days is artificial intelligence. Is AI really a robot? I'm not even going to debate it with you. They always go in this section. And this one is taking care of some things that maybe a lot of people don't care about, but if you need it, you really, really need it.
DeepMind uses AI to tackle neglected deadly diseases.
That is, do you know what kind of bug that is? I'm not going to show you. Anybody?
I didn't know until I read the caption.
Man, I don't.
It's an assassin bug.
Oh, that's right.
It's a what?
Assassin bug. Look at that badass.
Can you give me a little synopsis of like, that sounds deadly. It has the word assassin in it.
No, you give him money and he will kill your enemies.
I'd never heard of Chagas disease either.
Yeah. I think is it Chagas? Chagas? Engagement challenge. Do you have Chagas disease? But yeah. Apparently, this is not a disease that gets a lot of headlines and a lot of funding dollars, so they don't really have a team to put on this, but hey, they got a robot.
And this is not DeepMind's first foray into things medical. They've actually found a lot of really interesting, there's links to other articles, and they found a lot of other interesting stuff with DeepMind. This is the one that originally learned how to play Go better than human players.
Is that Australia?
With novel strategies.
These are not party favors. These are proteins.
It looks like Australia.
That's what the AI is going to take care of.
I think this is cool.
Yeah, it could be good.
Then we get to the serious side effects portion of the article.
We're going to discuss, like, AI is going to present us with this amazing thing, and it's like, it cures AIDS, and then everybody's going to be cured of AIDS, and then it's like, by the way, there's some side effects. And everybody's like, what?
What?
Chagas disease sounded really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd go for some side effects.
Yeah.
So like, I'm only going to have liquid coming out of me in every hole from now on. I don't care. Yeah, let's just take care of the Chagas.
Yeah.
Krista, you are an art snob. How do you feel about Rembrandt?
I like Rembrandt. I like his use of light. I like how his contrast in his pieces is always really well done.
Well, then this should excite you.
Yeah, AI helps restore Rembrandt's Night Watch masterpiece.
Ooh.
This is a very prominent painting in his catalog.
It's
Usually you study this quite a bit, yeah.
And you got knifed. It survived several stabbings.
So these guys defended us from the Night Walkers, or or the White Walkers? I'm sorry.
Oh, we don't talk about season 8.
So
we don't talk about season 8.
As you point out, they were trying to get this through a door at one point, and what level of, like, was it just the haulers that made that decision?
What level of haphazard?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't imagine somebody at the top being like, oh, the Rembrandt? Yeah, just chop it up.
That's fine.
Just make some cuts on it. So I don't know. I guess it's like this outside piece was missing, and they've put it back, and they've used AI to reproduce his style.
Interesting. That's interesting.
He's well known for like his contrast between light and dark, and like how well he threads that needle. So that would be difficult to do, and it's cool that an AI could do it.
That is a big painting.
Yeah,
massive.
It's
It's huge.
It's human size.
That's really cool.
Remember last week when we were talking about something last week that had something to do with the museum, and I asked the question, what stops people from just going in there and attacking the paintings? And they mentioned that one of Rembrandt's paintings was attacked. Yeah. The guy attacked it with a butter knife.
Yeah.
That was a couple 100 years ago, I thought. No, there was one in the 90s. The guy in the 90s sprayed it with a chemical, and then there was another guy that attacked it with a butter knife, like, some time ago.
It'd be interesting to know what their punishment was.
I found a pure silver butter knife in the walls here when we were doing the renovations, and it's like, how did that even happen?
No, there's vampires in this building.
A pure
giving you a warning.
silver butter knife in
or
the wall.
Could be werewolves.
Yeah, it was like the fine china,
Maybe that's why there's so many dead birds in the building.
Somebody was definitely fighting a cursed and or undead enemy in this building.
It was oddly heavy.
That's crazy. This place has like new things, new secrets and stuff every time you go
Well,
like exploring.
A significant number of the walls have been opened, and that's the only piece of silverware I've found. So it's even more of a mystery.
Is there some old, superstition about putting a piece of silver in the walls or something like that? I bet there is.
I'm sure the comments will
Engagement
light it up.
There you go.
Engagement.
And why a butter knife?
So that when you're dead and haunting the building, you can still butter things.
And it was the old style butter knife, which is like L-shaped. It's got like one curved thing, and then it's like a flat. It's almost like a cake server because you would carve off a rather large piece of butter, and then it's not like a modern butter knife.
Well, you do like polite things as a ghost. Like they sit their toast down and then you butter it, and they turn around. They're like, I didn't think I buttered that. You just help them instead of haunt them.
Yeah, it's more akin to a ladle than a knife, really.
Wouldn't that undermine your sanity? Well, we talk a lot about algorithms used in healthcare, and it's almost always painted in a positive light. They seem to be doing some really good things. They don't cost a lot.
It augments our human workers, which are taking good care of us.
Although it might be replacing them in some cases. I guess you could argue about that.
Yeah.
But this kind of story makes you worry because, is anybody checking the work of the AI?
No.
Yeah.
A hospital algorithm designed to predict a deadly condition misses most cases. A new study found that it also had many false alarms.
Oh no.
Sounds like the holographic banana problem all over again.
Oh,
This was for
no.
sepsis, which is like a full body infection. So it's pretty serious. You can die from it.
And it's something that
No.
can develop in the hospital stay quite often.
I saw something on Reddit not long ago, which was I don't remember where it was, but it was like if you see these brands of hospital equipment, they're not willing to spend the money necessary to get good equipment. So don't stay in that hospital. Don't trust anything. They're not updating their equipment. But if you see these brands, that's better equipment. And it's like, that's something I really need to commit to long-term memory.
I bet if you call your insurance company and tell them that, they'll be like, "Oh, sure, you just go go to any place you want. Yeah, that's fine. Out
Yeah,
of network,
I'll pay
that's
for
fine. Yeah,
Now that you've given us
because you definitely have
Proper
choice
argument.
in that.
Yeah.
It's not like you're being corralled into a slaughterhouse.
when I think about AIs like that, things mutate and become different than, right? Like, so they wouldn't necessarily always have the same symptoms.
Yeah.
It's going to become a weird battleground.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad I don't work at a hospital.
I actually experienced a little bit of this week. I got a tick
no.
bite last week, and so I noticed it starting to get kind of itchy, and it was turning a little red. So I went to the clinic, and the lady basically just read off of a Wikipedia page,
You are going to die. No.
and she was like, "Well, we can do this series of tests, but I'll probably just put you on doxycycline, which is an antibiotic in case you do have Lyme." But she was basically just reading it, and I was like, "Oh, is the computer actually diagnosing me right now? Is that what's happening?"
Should I have went to WebMD?
I think
Yeah, and just done this myself.
I think the AI would probably be better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah. It was weird experience.
That's a big thing about I don't deal with modern healthcare much, but one of the most terrifying things I think about it is you go to the doctor and the doctor spends 5 minutes looking at you and then sends you to someone with no training to do the rest of it.
Yeah. Yes. And just gives them
Strange.
this haphazard I don't know. I feel like it's not enough time maybe to accurately go over all the bases.
Yeah,
and-
definitely.
I couldn't diagnose a computer in that amount of speed.
Well, it's an interesting device for sure, but this is one of those situations where I have to question if are they really doing this, or is this one of those Theranos things where it's just the Indian guy? On one screen he's got the 7-Eleven
Yeah.
that he's monitoring, on the other screen he's got this.
TechSee's AI can recognize devices and guide users through setup. So it's you use your phone to hold this, and it's okay, you got your cables in the wrong places. You need to do this or move that or whatever.
We need this for the KVMs.
Oh my gosh.
But see, I don't know if the AI is really actually doing that much here.
It seems like it wouldn't. How is there a concrete way of? I don't know.
Well, they have to have a record for every one of these devices.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how often the problem goes away when you can just do screen sharing. It's I just don't even tell me what the problem is. Just let me see your screen. Let me drive.
Yeah, they're kind of doing that. It's supposed to be the robot, but again, I don't buy that it's just a robot.
Probably not.
This is one of the more dystopian stories that we've ever done, and this could easily just go in the tech section, but I had to put it in the nonsense section because it is nonsensical.
Canon uses AI cameras that only let smiling workers inside the office.
What?
They need a duress mode. It's like if there's someone with you and you're winking, call for security.
If there's a knife in the frame. Yeah. But you don't want that in the building, do you?
But like, if something happens and someone needs, and they're like wanting to get in, and what if it doesn't detect you as a smile? What if
his mouth is smiling, but his eyes aren't happy?
Like, what if it just doesn't detect it? You know?
Denied.
So they have this whole corporate policy of like, you need to be happy, you need to be positive, and the name of it is just like, this means nothing. This is absolutely just word salad
The
nonsense.
corporate culture of moving and always being.
When am I not always being? I have no choice. I hate being sometimes.
Those words
You do
connected-
have a choice.
Those words connected together is just like a stream of consciousness. I don't get any meaning from them being together. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna clarify it for you. It advocates the concepts of laughing and big health. Big health sounds like a Trump thing, doesn't it?
Big
It does,
health
yeah.
doesn't
Big
Bigly.
health for everybody.
It
not
sounds like
small health, but
sounds
big.
like an idiocracy thing.
What?
So yeah, that's a real thing, and you really do have to smile. And I think during your whole workday, you are expected to play along with their insane corporate policy.
Someone should go like feminazi on their ass and be like, the thing's telling me to smile. How dare you?
This is a great quote from somebody, a ballsy individual on Chinese social media, saying that they're not only manipulating our time, but also our emotions.
Eloquent.
There are 4 lights. That's what we're talking about there. I think we talked about this last week, right?
We talked about that this could possibly happen.
Yeah, and it is very
happens.
impressive. I would love to know what corners they cut, wouldn't you? Because they cut some corners, but it's visually, you can't tell what it is.
Hyundai acquires Boston Dynamics, company most famous for its robot police dogs.
They're a little smaller. Oh, wait.
This is not the story you thought it was.
Oh, wow.
Whoops.
So this is the real dogs,
Yes,
the full price ones.
Hyundai bought them.
So the question here is, what is Hyundai going to do with robot dogs?
What do they want with that?
Well, they saw what Honda had, and they said, well, we also start with H, so we must have the robots.
We also start with H.
Also, I guess this is the new model. This looks kind of like the Predator, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He does.
They've had the video of this one, like unloading boxes and stuff like that, and Corridor Digital did a version of this one with that one, like doing judo and kickboxing and stuff.
If you are at Boston Dynamics or Hyundai and you're a part of the marketing department, you should just stop marketing entirely. Your whole, the entire marketing department should resign en masse if you don't hire Arnold Schwarzenegger to fight this thing. How huge would that be?
Yeah. I mean, his time is probably a pretty penny, but, you know.
That's worth it.
They're
It'd be
really
worth
worried
it.
about the negative connotations around Rock'em Sock'em Governor.
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Unitree's Go 1 robot dog looks pretty good and costs just US $2,700. That's an incredibly low. We can afford that. We couldn't afford the other robot, but we can afford this one.
So the other
Whoa.
one, this starts at $2,700. The decent one is, what was it, like $3,200 or something like that?
35, I think.
$3,500
Yeah.
for the decent one.
And the 8500 one is the one we don't need.
Compare that to the entry level spot, which is
75,000.
$75,000, and for like the decent spot, it's over 100.
What does the robot dog, I mean, you get the enjoyment of, like, the serotonin boost of having a dog, but without having to clean up after it? Is that it?
Maybe, but in the video, there's just like it's carrying his water and just doing other random stuff.
Well,
It's just to be there. It's just to be cute, right?
well, no. The thing they point out about it is that companies like Hyundai will tell you that they're going to do a lot of cool things with this. What they actually do is use it for surveillance and crowd control and stuff like that. It's actually a very militant thing.
Yeah.
Like, they've used these to hassle homeless people who are in places they don't want them to be.
Imagine the Indian speaker guy on one of those.
Yeah.
He can follow you, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh, there's a scratching at the door. Is that? Wait, I'm at work. This is the bathroom. Oh, I've been in here too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not sure why these people did this. I guess this is just to prove that it can be done because this has never been done autonomously. But the whole Mayflower tie-in, I don't understand why they did
Headlines. AI-powered Mayflower, beset with a glitch, has returned to England. Was trying to take the same route that the original Mayflower did in 1680 whatever.
And apparently the original Mayflower also had to come back a few times because those ships were not very well built. Maybe that's part of matching the magic. Screw something up the first time.
We didn't even intend for that to be like that, and that happened.
But this thing is going to be the first robot to cross the Atlantic. There is no crew. That's why it had to come back. Nobody there to fix it.
It noticed a failure and was like, gotta go back to my people. Fix me, please.
Please
See,
fix
if they
me.
had the robot dog on there, could have gone to fix it. Just saying.
You think he's good with tools? He's only got those little like round nubs.
Yeah.
His
I'm
little
sure they've got one of
nubs.
those hands because Boston Dynamics has the arm. They've
He's
got the
trying to operate a screwdriver.
He has little attachments for his hands that he can use.
And then what if the boat never shows up? And all of a sudden the telemetry gets unplugged. And now you've got a rogue dog and boat traveling around. It's like Airwolf.
Amelia Earhart boat.
That was what was missing from the South African Bitcoin story. That was their escape boat.
All the guys that took off, yeah. Do you think the dog was involved?
Yeah, the dog put the boat back on course, and so it went back to England, and now they're stranded in the ocean.
What will his reward be?
We're so
The
enlightened right
cryptocurrency?
now.
You think he snacks on cryptocurrency like dog treats?
Oh,
This one, I read this headline and I thought this is just more nonsense. But when you get down to it and you see with the current thing that we're
You dig
using,
into it, and it's like, ugh.
it might be a little lacking.
Yeah. Exclusive. Google searches for new measure of skin tones to curb bias in products. So this sounds insane. It sounds completely insane. But they're looking to algorithmically track this, and depending on what skin tones there are, it's going to apply more and more bias to try to offset the bias in the data set.
But here's the thing. The classic one, the classic skin tone scale, which is apparently from the 70s, has 7 Caucasian skin tones and 1 black one and 1 brown one. So
Really?
Not a lot of nuances there. They've had to develop a new kind of scale, I guess, for skin tones, which,
Right.
okay, I mean, yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
It's so funny because you think about, you know how they talk about cultures like the Inuits and stuff like that, where they have 500 words for snow, but 1 skin color for them?
It's like the Family Guy gag. Remember that? He had the color palette with the Border Patrol, and it was like, okay, not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new palette is literally what Google is designing. Now, the fact that Google is designing the new palette,
But also like changing how much compensation bias they apply. It's like we're training this algorithm to do whatever, and we're gonna try to nudge the results to be more this way depending on what the palette is. It's like just
yeah. There's a,
garbage in, garbage out. Google, garbage in, garbage
Yeah.
out.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
lawsuits going on about schools that are doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like people have been like, no, you were literally discriminating against me because I'm the majority. Isn't that the same thing? And they're like, nope, go away. This one, now you read the headline and you're like, oh, that's scary. And then they explain to you how, no, it's not scary. It's helpful. But just a few lines of code.
There's a couple things missing from the story too.
A few lines of code may turn this into a helpful, fun robot to a death, it's just a human-seeking
robot.
death bomb. Yeah.
Scientists are using drones to hunt down human screams. So it's like you're jogging alone at night, you just have to scream, and then the police drones surround your area, looking, with video surveillance. And
That's not the use case they described. They described you being trapped somehow. You remember the guy that was trapped in the dinosaur?
Yeah,
He could have been saved
he could have been saved.
by a drone.
He could have also had one of those robot dogs come after him too.
Or people
New
would be
York
like,
had to give theirs back.
people would be like, why are the drones hovering around the dinosaur? They must be broken.
It's like vultures, except the vultures know the body's there. That's what farmers used to do. Is like, oh, there's something wrong. The vultures are circling overhead, and they would find a lamb or a cow or something that got off the path and stuck in something.
But here's the thing about this. If you can make it track screams, then you could also make it track like whispered voices
Yeah.
coming from one of the non-vaccinated caves.
Certain languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could happen.
I mean, okay, so the idea behind it is that it is to help someone who otherwise would not have help. Is that it?
It's basically roaming and always observing in case something goes wrong.
Yeah,
That
imagine
seems
like
kinda
there was an
terrifying.
earthquake.
Yeah. Or
don't
you could
know
send it into like the condo that just fell down, right?
Yeah.
So they have hundreds of people are still missing. You could
Yeah.
have drones, just sweeping the area, and if they hear
Oh.
anything, then they could go to that and bring rescue to it.
That seems really good, yeah.
But remember Afghanistan when all those people were in caves and they were like striking out against us from the caves? Do you think maybe the military adjusts this a little bit?
I mean, that's not even probably an hour of work.
No, not at all. And they're cheap. And if you put the thermobarics on it at the mouth of a cave, nothing survives.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Krista, you've given up on van life, and it turns out that you had the greatest opportunity that anybody has ever had to transition into van life, and you squandered it.
Don't forget not to say the word.
But not everybody's like you.
As offices shut down for the thing, workers bought vans and hit the road, and some don't want to return.
I can just do my work from the van.
I have a relative who may be doing this soon.
What a life. That would be...
They're doing bus life though.
So I find it difficult to believe, because they say that you just drive around and you find public wireless spots to use.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get any work done on a public wireless. Could you?
You at least need Starlink.
So
McDonald's, the local McDonald's here, is taking to shutting their connection down every 3 minutes for 1 second because of people parking in their parking lot and using the wireless.
Yep.
that does look like this looks like they're about to have a good time. I would enjoy that scene probably for about 10, 15 minutes.
That'd be bored.
And then I'd be like, can we play
now
some
there's
video games?
mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, so we're sitting here on dirt,
Sand.
sand.
Look, Krista, this could be you.
Yeah, that could be you.
They could be doing a
Krista.
story about you.
Just hanging out in a van somewhere.
Living your best life, Krista.
Probably be fun for about a month, and then it would be like, I'm ready for a shower now.
Yeah, it'd be fine for like, I think vacationing, but I don't think I could do it full time just because I'm a tall person and there's not a lot of room in vans.
I don't think I could do it either.
I don't want to do it. I could.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be
it's
unhappy.
possible, but
I would be searching for an exit from van life. Krista, I know that you have a lot of anticipation, hesitance, fear when it comes to the drought.
yeah.
You're definitely
well, I mean,
assuming.
it's probably not going to be here, but
Oh yeah, there's a knock-on effect though.
yeah.
If there are refugees, we're going to experience it.
Okay, I'll read the headline. California's historic drought is causing drinking water to taste like dirt. Officials say, just add lemon.
I can't remember the exact name of what's in it.
We've pulled so much water out of the aquifers
Yeah.
that it's harmless, but yeah, it does have more of a dirt taste.
Yeah, so I read this entire article, and I don't think they exactly said what it was. It was just like, yeah, it
it's-
just kind of naturally tastes like it.
Geosmin?
Yeah.
So this is a natural thing. It's always in the water, but as the water drains, the geosmin doesn't. It's not diluted at all.
It settles at the bottom.
So you have high concentrations because you're almost out of water.
I'm really confused as to how the lemon interacts with it in a way to make it go away.
It neutralizes it. Also, I think just like sunlight or cold will also do it.
We had well water growing up, which tended to be kind of basic. It was basic heavy. So adding a little splash of something like lemon juice, you wouldn't even taste the lemon, but it really helped out a lot.
It's the same
okay.
concept of a water softener.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, is it anything acidic, or is it like lemon juice particularly?
It's not really the water; it's the other stuff in the water.
I think it probably bonds to it or something. It turns into something else.
My thing reading this article was like, taste does not seem to be nearly the biggest issue here. The issue is you have so little water that it's getting down to like the last dregs, and everyone's like, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I mean, not only are we getting low on water, but I don't think a lot of people consider the last 20% of water is not at all like the first 20% of water.
Right. It's not. Yeah.
And
So-
I'll just take this time to point out that California has the world's largest water desalination plant, and another one is getting ready to come online.
Yeah, well, what else are you going to do? Got to get it from somewhere. Turns out we need it. This is, we do these stories all the time. It just gets crazier and crazier, though. Like the language police. And this university, they're definitely toward the top.
Massachusetts Brandeis, is that how you say that? University lists
Brandeis.
policemen, congressmen, the words policeman and congressman on the oppressive language list.
Oh, because man is in it?
Right, yeah. What about rule of thumb? Do you know why rule of thumb?
Shouldn't say rule of thumb because that involved was slavery.
No.
And you also don't say, like, bring home the bacon.
Rule of thumb was you're not supposed to beat your wife with a branch that's bigger than your thumb.
Oh, okay. I thought it was beat a slave with it.
No, it's your wife.
Okay.
Might make
Neither are
concrete
good,
out of it.
but
Yeah, neither are good, so...
How about walk-in appointments?
How is that bad?
Because not everybody can walk.
Oh, right.
Ableist. Here's a couple more that I guarantee you will not get. Long time no see.
Long time.
It's broken English. It's foreign. Like an Asian person might have said long time no see because they did not know how to say I've not seen you in a long time.
that seems kind of racist in a different way, though, assuming that.
Petulant? You think petulant might be the word? Also, trigger warning, because I guess that's just like anything to have to do with a gun has to be excluded.
Yeah.
Oh, and picnic, they didn't explain picnic. What's wrong with picnic?
I don't know. I feel like most things have like some crazy or bad like origins. Like
Etymology.
Christmas trees. Like, I don't know. You know, you can find anything that's like
Picnic, problem in chair, not in computer.
Yeah, but why would that be offensive?
Because that means someone's dumb.
I guess that could be. I don't think that's why they did it. I do want to try to look up why picnic is offensive.
I mean
What is the alternative to picnic too?
Outside eating fest.
Food
Also, they
outing?
mention regional dialects. They say you guys is oppressive, but y'all is not.
Because guys.
Oh,
yeah, guys.
You got to think
I
on
was
a lot
thinking,
of
like,
different
was-
levels here, Krista.
I was thinking like, is y'all some sort of like, oh, those poor Appalachians, they're just too poor and stupid. Like that was where I was going.
We're
with it,
never
which is
going to
maybe
teach
awful.
them. We're never going to
Yeah.
teach them,
How-
so just let them say it.
How are we going to preserve our Appalachian heritage?
You're not.
Aren't we trying
Listen
to
to
stamp
us
out?
all code switching.
These stories are always fun just because the reason that this one got a lot of attention is because some influencer, some TikTok influencer, happened to be standing here as this went down.
And this was Japan. Emergency crew rescues a sex doll after mistaking it for a drowning woman.
I just want to say, she looks nothing like a drowning woman. Look at that. It's obviously
Well,
fake.
from a distance. I mean, because a drowning body is going to be like really waterlogged. And
Yeah.
It's not going to look like a regular human. I agree. Now, in this one, it looks like there's a head, right? Is that
yeah,
fair?
yeah. So they actually got it out.
But
yeah.
But there's no head here, right?
Disintegrated.
I think it's behind. I think it flopped over
Oh.
from like maybe water filling it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scary.
This was so Japan has really strict policies on like littering, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that it even made its way there.
Do you think it was thrown away on purpose, or is there some sort of mishap that
A
happened?
boating mishap. She was also supposed to be on the boat for McAfee. I'm piecing it together from the headlines.
You're
y'all.
piecing
I don't
it
know.
together.
We've almost got a clear picture of what happened.
I remember we talked about this when it first happened.
Yes.
Because it was a social media stunt.
I think we all agreed this was going to end badly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we all predicted that we wouldn't want to do it. But it seems that they also did not want to do it. But they did go all the way to the end. Did you figure out what the incentive was for them to complete it? Did they get paid something?
I don't know.
I don't know why they did it.
Couple handcuffed together for 123 days, immediately break up. They're done with each other. It's like, let's make sure we're really done with each other. They handcuffed themselves together. And I was following along with this. And then it was like, oh, she did like manicures and
Eyelashes.
eyelashes and stuff like that. He was standing over her while she was working at work. So, and customers found that creepy, so she got fired. And it's like,
Krista, how would you feel if you went to the salon and she was just like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend. He's handcuffed to me."
And their hand at the wrist. So she's like putting on eyelashes on clients, and his hand is right next to your eye too.
Yeah. Like she's
I-
working on your hair, and his hand's on your shoulder.
Oh no! I don't understand. I just accept at some point that I'll never understand. But this is just what.
I want to live my own independent life and grow as an independent person, she revealed to the public.
They did mention that they did this on some kind of social media, but they had like less than 10,000 followers. It was not a big undertaking.
Why? So why 100? Well, wait. Why 123 days? Was that what it was?
since Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's just. I don't have words for like the level of.
I have a possible title for this week's episode based on this story.
Okay.
Sounds like it might get us in trouble. But Krista, we love to talk about black holes because you're scared of them
Right.
irrationally.
I don't want to be spaghettified, okay?
Well, we do know that they can destroy almost anything. I mean, they are a powerful force. We've learned that they can teleport.
Yeah.
We've learned that they can seek you out and travel large distances. But what we
Hurtle
didn't
through
know
space.
was that they were just rife with systemic racism.
Cornell course teaches black holes could be linked to racial blackness.
I don't even.
Is this just bait? This kind of feels like this is bait.
Absolutely. This is
Okay.
just somebody trying to get their name out there. Now let's go ahead, in case some of you don't know in the audience, the reason a black hole is black has to do with light, not melanin.
Yeah.
The title of this week's episode is Absence of Light Holes.
Let's just let that.
I was like, no, I was wondering if the whole story was bait. But I looked up, there is a class at Cornell.
Yeah.
The name of the class is Black Holes, Race, and the Cosmos.
The light has gone holes.
That's.
The good title that we cannot use
I wasn't going to say that one.
is All Holes Matter.
Are you sure you can't use that?
I don't think
We will get demonetized for that for sure.
Yeah, we have to be very careful about what titles we use.
We might get targeted by the cancel police for that one.
That's hilarious.
Human beings are living longer and longer, and it's leading to more and more terrifying end-of-life scenarios.
Yeah.
I think dementia is really just basically, you've been here too long.
Yeah.
And it's not just us, because when we control the lives of animals, we also extend them for many, many more years than they would be in the wild. This guy would have been a snack years ago.
Elderly zoo penguin with arthritis gets shoes to provide relief. Elderly zoo penguin, there's a video here. You can watch him waddle
That's so
around
cute.
on his little shoes.
See, there's no picture, so you have
Yeah,
to show the
you
video.
gotta watch
But
the
Does it
video.
actually help?
Yeah, they can't really ask him, but they've been monitoring him, and they've seen him moving around more and, not lagging behind the other penguins quite as much. And he doesn't wear them all day. In the morning, they wake him up, they put him on, and then at night, they take him back off before he goes to bed.
Yeah, well, you gotta let his feet breathe.
Enrique.
The vet said mom's cat
Enrique.
probably has arthritis.
Is that that might be the penguin's name from Happy Feet? That is that breed of penguin.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember that penguin's name, but
That's kind of ironic, isn't it? Because his feet are anything but happy. Crunchy feet.
Oh.
That's
that
the
guy.
sequel, the much-awaited sequel.
I put a note in the Discord so we can remember that for a title for next week.
Bloated feet.
anything but Happy Feet.
And the housing market, it continues to be just insane.
Spiraling out of control.
I love to throw in, and in Canada, I mean, it's bad here, but in Canada, they've lost all sense of reason.
Toronto house is selling for $500,000. Smells so bad it might be hard to view it.
Wow.
This is a garage that has had a room built over it, but they never finished. It doesn't really flood correctly, and they dug out part of the foundation, so there's kind of a basement, but not really.
I don't think it mentioned how many square feet you think this is.
900.
Maybe 700. Yeah.
700, something like that.
So they blame the smell, or they surmise that smell might be coming from a cat, but I didn't get an idea of, like, is that a dead cat?
No,
Is it living and pissing everywhere?
Yeah, a cat that just ran loose, and one of the bedrooms doesn't have a floor. Yeah, so I mean,
500,000?
yeah.
They didn't even go through with the weed eater before they took the real estate pictures.
There's no inside pictures, which tells you everything you need to know about that property.
Being a realtor
Yeah.
in Toronto must be the easiest thing in the universe. All right.
This is just mind-blowing to me.
If you're a realtor in Toronto, you pick up the phone and you're like, well, it's not currently on fire. Do you want it?
I mean, that's wow.
Can we have an inspection? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You just say, like, you just go in blind. They're like, no. Just agree, and then you can go in and see it.
And our final story is a bit tragic, but it has a happy ending. And it shows that even in the animal kingdom, you can go too far when you're enjoying your meals and have catastrophic consequences from that.
Aquarium shark receives underwater surgery for prolapsed rectum. So everything, he's doing fine. Everything went well. The surgery went well. This is a nurse shark, somewhat ironically.
And he just decided to go too hard on just too many fish, particularly hungry that day. And I guess it, didn't process
In
correctly.
this aquarium, I have nothing else to be happy for. Let me die. And then they're like, no, we got you.
It said he defecated too hard.
No.
And that's what caused the
We've all
problem.
been there.
Oh, no.
Also, a 2.6 meter long shark. What size was that defecation? It must have been really impressive.
It was like the brown crayon store.
I've never thought about that. What does shark poop look like? I'm looking that up.
Is it like fish where it's just like a string from their body?
No, it had to have enough structure to get jammed up.
He needs some fiber.
Too much
There's
fiber.
no pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Maybe is this...
Are we really Googling shark?
There's like a tiny
I
video.
did.
No matter, right?
Yeah, there's a video. You can go watch.
There's
I didn't.
There's a pair of hands here, and I can't really tell what's going on.
I don't even know what that
Yeah.
is.
They do have to do all this underwater, so I imagine it's hard to film.
And the shark was anesthetized, so.
Well, we should hope.
Oh my god.
Do you think there was any blood?
Oh.
Because, sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Wake up and it's like, that's me.
It's funny. I don't remember, running into anything sharp.
It smells delicious in here.
No,
Why is
it's
everyone
me.
following me?
What are they doing with that knife? Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. That's so funny.
All right, Amber, you got some last words for us? This terrible life choice that you're about to make.
We could use 3 editors. It's fine.
If you decide corporate life is not for you.
I don't know.
Do you have your corporate-friendly clothing all picked out for next week?
They're actually not that strict about it.
Well, that's
good.
disgusting. I'm never going there again.
Well, I asked them and they were like, something with a collar? Question mark? He didn't even know.
You should show up in like full BDSM.
Like a dog collar.
Yeah, spike collar.
It's
Where do we started, guys? Where's my desk?
I don't know. I'm really gonna miss level 1 and like
Well, we'll always be here.
I really like the atmosphere.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I really like the atmosphere and I really like how nice everyone is to me, and I hope that like people are not so mean to me at my other job or anything. But I think everyone seems really, really nice, really friendly, and they really seem like they'll be okay to work with, which is my main like. I don't want to be miserable while I'm there. I think it'll be fine. But I'll miss level 1 and the atmosphere, and then people replying back to me in the comments and being like, "You did a great job." I'm like, "Thank you. I really appreciate that." I tried really hard.
Well, it was awesome. So.
Yes. Thank you for your service, your years of service.
Thank you for your service.
All right. We'll see you next week. Except here.
Yeah. Bye forever.
Bye.
Bye forever.